Welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Now, the Trump administration's H-1B visa threat is sending shockwaves across the global workforce each passing day because the norms and the filters keep changing. It has now released a new proposal that aims to revamp the selection criteria for this category of visa. The US government has unveiled a proposal to modify the H-1B visa selection process. And under the proposed rule change, the lottery system will be scrapped, giving weightage to high-skill, high-pay applicants. The 85,000 visa cap will remain, and a 30-day public comment window has also been opened for feedback. Now let us take you through this entire proposed changes stack and how they are now modified again against the current system. The Trump administration has delivered a jolt to the H-1B visa program in its current shape. Now, under the proposed system, higher paid workers would be favored, while the current system relies on a purely random lottery. Now, under the proposed H-1B system, applicants with higher wages would see increased chances of securing a visa. Currently, wages have no impact on the lottery-based selection process. The proposed H-1B system would favor highly skilled graduates, while the current system tends to benefit early career professionals. The H-1B lottery overhaul is also expected to have significant implications on Bharat. Tougher qualifications for H-1B visas, which mean only highly paid and experienced professionals are likely to be favored, while entry and mid-level workers could face challenges. Young engineers and IT graduates may lose out, and overall opportunities for Bharatiya professionals are expected to sharply decrease. Now, amidst this entire chaos, Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has highlighted Bharat's global talent and innovation, saying Bharat Solutions is helping US corporations in growth and research with a vibrant startup ecosystem rapidly expanding. Listen.
We also provide huge amount of talent and innovation for which Indian engineers and Indian graduates are famous. That also provides us an opportunity to provide solutions for corporations across the world, including in the US, to support their growth plans, to support their plans to focus on new research and development, new ideas. The startup ecosystem in India is very vibrant.
But is the US going the global way with visa selection? Many nations already use points-based systems. In the UK, 70 points are needed with 50 mandatory and 20 tradable. Australia factors age, English skills and education. Canada uses a comprehensive ranking in its express entry pool, while New Zealand requires at least 6 points. Singapore applies a point system to ensure eligibility and diversity. Germany's opportunity card for non-EU job seekers also needs about 6 points. And South Africa requires 100 points for critical skills or general work visas. Now, as the United States tightens its H-1B visa program, Germany is seizing the moment to court Indian talent. German ambassador to Bharat, Dr. Philip Ackerman, extended an open invitation to skilled Bharatiya workers, pitching Europe's largest economy as a stable and rewarding alternative to the US.
The average Indian working in Germany earns more than the average German working in Germany. And that's pretty good news. Because a high salary means that Indians are contributing big time to our society and our welfare. Our migration policy works a bit like a German car. It's reliable, it is modern, it is predictable.
Now, almost every day, these changes reshape who gets the chance to work in the US of A or who gets to pursue or chase that so-called American dream. The question is, will this move actually choke opportunities for many or cleanse the program? That's one part. But will this choke the American dream and the growth story itself? Is Trump actually not just hurling the axe on his own foot or the American foot, but is he hurling America onto the axe? That's the whole thing. Will it choke or cleanse the dreams, the US dream itself of growing and trying to create more jobs for themselves? There are a lot of angles and aspects to it. Let's go across to Ambassador Deepak Vora, former diplomat, General D.P. Pandey with us, security analyst, Aditya Pitti, author, and Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, political commentator, scientist. My namaste and Jai Hind. Viewers, at the outset, I'd like to say, for me, I'm happy in my own country because we know this country is safe. We can figure out whatever is the thing. We have a livelihood and we will survive in this country, will take care of us. But those who want to chase an American dream, those who have pursued higher studies and who have been, it's been drilled into by their parents कि तुमको US जाना है, पढ़ो लिखो और भागो, देश छोड़ो, भागो US जाओ, वहाँ पर ड्रीम है, चेस करो. Ambassador Deepak Gora, what happens to such people?
Well, thank you very much. As always, a great honor, a great pleasure to be with you on your amazing show. And as usual, my complaint, you get the best people and you have this one poor ambassador sitting there with all these intellectuals. Nevertheless, thank you. First of all, do you know why it's called the H-1B visa? I was just verifying this. It's because it was under section 101, bracket 15, bracket H, bracket 1 of the Immigration and Nationalization Act of 1990. Hence it's called H1. Then became H1B, etc. H1A, H1B. What happens? Sir, let me be very honest with you. Two things. Yesterday, the day before, I was at a wonderful university called Amrita University Hospital outside the nation's capital, Faridabad. There's a nursing college there. They've increased their intake because many of the nurses, and listen to this, I relate it to what the German ambassador said, are learning German because they've been offered appointment in Germany. Other places, they are looking to go to Japan and Israel, we all know about it, and Indian nurses are famous throughout the world. So there will be alternatives. They can't go to the US. There are many, many people wanting to go there. Not too long ago, British Prime Minister, I think his name was Boris Johnson, funny looking character. He had said, I'm introducing some immigration security here, but because they had better economic opportunities. Everybody who left this country to go to the US was an economic migrant. He was not running away from persecution. And then I would quote what Lee Kuan Yew, from whom I learned so much, had said, the former Prime Minister of Singapore, that China, for example, he was talking about China, will never be able to catch up with the United States. The US attracts the best talent in the world and combines it in creative ways. China looks at uniformity, so it's never going to be at the same level as the US. This is what he had said. So people today, for them, Mr. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, for whatever reason, his MAGA, WAGA, whatever, he's trying to convert this dream into a nightmare. That, I think, seems to be happening.
No, but the volte-face that they've done, from what Lutnick said earlier on, where he said that past and present and renewals and all of that, to new H-1B visas, Ambassador Saab, to now this saying that, oh, we are trying to, doctors are already exempt, highly skilled medical professionals are exempt, because the MAGA base itself would have sent the alarm bells ringing, saying that your healthcare is already struggling. 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 doctors are from Bharat. Top skilled surgeons are from Bharat. So if you stop their H-1B visas, who's going to shoulder the medical care? And you know, South Asia, along with Bharat, Philippines and all of these countries are big contributors there. So then the rethink happens. Now they're saying, oh, we will keep the 85,000, but we'll get only highly skilled workers. How are you going to get 85,000 highly skilled workers? You put that number at 85,000 because there's a requirement, right? So is this really going to work?
I think you've hit the nail on the head. No, it's not. It's not, because as America's healthcare system seeks to revive itself, it's collapsing. We all know what happened to Obamacare, this care, that care. As it seeks to reinvent, rejuvenate itself, they need foreign workers. There's no question, and the biggest source of foreign workers, as far as the medical profession is concerned, look at the number of medical colleges we have, is Bharat, sir. Sir, our doctors are the best in the universe. I would rather trust an Indian doctor than anybody else. The time is gone. वो अमेरिका जाते थे ट्रीटमेंट के लिए, we go to England for whatever dialysis and so on. Now it's all Bharat. You know, last year we issued 1.8 million, sir, medical visas. This year will probably be more. People coming from all across the world to be treated in India because our doctors are the best. So I think the MAGA fellows also understand that their health system, which affects everybody directly, impacts everybody directly, will be in deep trouble without Indian workers. So I think President Trump is modifying his initial firmness. Lottery ko hata diya, fair enough, we can live with that. But the reality is they need the best doctors in the world. And sir, I say with considerable pride, the best doctors are Indian, sir.
Correct, but if they need highly skilled workers, Aditya Pitti, and they're at high levels of salaries, then why will they pay $100,000? Why will those employers want to pay $100,000? So then that $100,000 will have to go. The other thing is the smart people will do nearshoring. There is Mexico, there is Canada, and there is this TN visa. under the old NAFTA rules, where if you are a US citizen, you're a Mexico citizen, you're a Canadian citizen, if you are working there, you can drive into the US and you can ply your wares there. And there's no time limit to that under the TN visa.
Sure, Anandji, good evening and good evening to my fellow panelists. So, there are a couple of points here, Anandji. First of all, this new point system, etc., will benefit Indian talent in general because our talent is highly educated and hence gets the high salaries. So they will benefit instead of a blind pool. That's for sure. Also, you said rightly, this is going to highly damage the innovation pipeline for the United States themselves. So, it's like shooting themselves in the foot because, I have studied in the US. I went to Massachusetts Institute of Technology, all of that. So I've been to their best places. And, frankly, they lack the math proficiency, the STEM skills that, the foreign students coming in provide. So, you cannot create this STEM pipeline overnight, also the K-12 schooling system. So as soon as you start restricting people from working in the US, at least skilled talent, by increasing the H-1B fees, in turn that will stop the students from going to the US. Because after all, everybody is looking for a return on investment, right? An ROI. The US education today is the most expensive in the world, like you pointed out. Even Europe is a fraction of the cost.
Right.
So if you're not allowing them to work, the students will start drying up who are going there. And the entire, I think, US hegemony of technology and innovation is actually built on this talent pool. So as soon as you start drying that up, it's a double whammy for them. And, I recently wrote an article as well where I'm arguing that, this is a great news for India. And hopefully this is a brain gain for us.
Brain gain, that you say, not drain, brain gain. The other thing is the likes of Alphabet, Meta, Amazon, Google, all of them have collectively written to the Trump administration already that if you want America to lead the AI race, you have to allow this talent to come here and create in America, because only then there is a sovereign right of the Americans on it or American companies on it. The moment it is done somewhere else, the intellectual rights, the development rights, sovereign rights, they cease to exist for America. And that's a point. So will the Trump administration understand that? Or General Pandey, is this a method to try and squeeze the corporate to say, Mera kya fayda hai? Is this another route to brazen, blatant corruption under the Trump regime?
Yeah, so from Trump to train manpower, tariff to trade manpower, I think T is becoming a very synonymous thing with US with the current Trump administration, So Trump also does all the trumping part. But let me just, I have a different viewpoint. 1.4 billion people with us. Brain drain is very important for us, right? Because the moment a large section of our intelligent, brilliant people go out, there is enough space for us to occupy by the, I'll not say second layer, when you take out cream, So some cream goes out, but a large section of cream remains here. And that is why we survive. We may retain this brain drain which is going out. I was also the same opinion as our fellow panelists that yes, it will be a gain for this thing. But our processes are not designed to enable flowering of this thing. They will get tamped up. They will not get those opportunities which are available. So while Indians, and you look at the contribution to this intellect brilliance pool of US, essentially it used to be the Chinese, Russians and Indians. Today, Indians are about 70% of the people who are into this H1 visa, B visa, highly accomplished people who are there. The Chinese have started doing one thing. They send people to study, but they pull them back by the levers to start investing in their country because they have made space. So they acquire knowledge and they come back and spend. We are not able to allow that thing to happen in our country. Till the time, we can only reap the benefits when we have our place enough in our country to have meritocracy to take shape. Enough research and development system is there. Ecosystem enables to flowering and exploitation of this thing, and it will take time. US has built up entire system of migration, immigration from all over the world. After all, America is not made by red Indians who have been shunned away and killed away and pushed into corner. It has been all migrants who were fighters, survivors. But the generation which our fellow panelists has spoken about, having spent enough time also myself in US, I realized that the people who are coming from the school education system are not fighters enough. It is again the brilliance of the Indians, Chinese and the Russians who contribute. In fact, you saw that very famous photograph which came out yesterday of the mass competition which has taken place. There are five children, of which majority were the Chinese, Russian and Indian origin. There's none which is American. So their system of education doesn't produce. Even our children who go out after some time, they also start fading away because the brilliance is not here. Our IITs, our education systems are throwing up those people who go out and power the American R&D, which looks at the future part. So this is one issue. And the second is that if this block happens, please understand the brain and trade will find the easiest path to flourish. So this brain is going to move out to Germany, it will go out to Africa, it will go out to Australia, it will go out to countries which will offer opportunities for this brain to this thing, in case we are not able to offer enough opportunity for our own brilliant minds to actually work here. So it is going to be at the loss of the Americans. But trust me, again like tariff, after all the rant of tariff, what exactly has happened? The system within America is now fighting against American administration.
Correct.
Right? The cost of medical prices are going out. Medical system is going out. So those things will come back and push this government to start finding ways and means, as you already articulated, that the doctors will remain, established practitioners will remain. They just can't do away without it. Otherwise, they will lose the finances because short-shoring, offshoring will start happening.
Well,
eventually, people will cook the books.
But somewhere it just looks like a large Vasuli racket. That a Google says, I want to hire 2,000 employees, I want to get 2,000 people, you want to get 2,000 people? Okay, pay $20 million to the Trump fund, to the election fund or to the Republican fund. You contribute this much money, I'll allow you this. Because there is no lottery system now. It's going to be allocated based on needs based. So it somewhere looks like a system is getting corrupted and brazenly so. And Dr. Ranganathan, do you see the nations like Germany or also even the other Commonwealth countries? We got a SETA going with UK. So we may just set up shop in the UK, Australia. All these countries, you go there, within 3 years, if you're a highly skilled professional, you're into R&D or developing any of the STEM facilities, they're offering you citizenship. And then an Australian citizen can go apply their wares in the US. So it's a little long-rooted, but theek hai.
No, absolutely. Good evening, Anand, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, the fact of the matter is, American companies cannot survive without H-1B talent. And in today's world, talent can express itself anywhere. Bangalore, if not Boston, Surat, if not San Fran. Trump, ironically, will help unleash India's potential in a way no Indian leader has. He will end up making India great again. Those filtered out would either work in India or work in American companies who would set up their bases in India. Either way, India would win. Question is, are we ready to absorb the Indian talent? Anand, 25 years ago, America needed India to be Y2K ready. Now, Indians need India to be H1B ready. Are we? Look, the H1B visa program has been a cornerstone of America's ascent to global superpower status. Attracting STEM specialists, it has fueled economic dominance, technological breakthroughs and job creation. Without this influx, Anand, America's competitive edge in the global arena would have been non-existent because 5 reasons. Number one, it powered Silicon Valley's tech boom. During the 1990s internet explosion, H-1B workers drove massive growth, expanding the digital economy. Companies like Google and Microsoft owe much of their innovation to such talent. Number two, H-1B holders have founded or led iconic firms. Immigrants on this visa, including leaders at Amazon, Meta, Apple, have built trillion-dollar empires. For example, Amazon secured over 10,000 H-1B visa approvals in recent years, leveraging global expertise to dominate e-commerce and cloud computing. How would it do it, America, if this was not H-1B already? Number three, it filled critical STEM gaps, complementing US workers rather than displacing them. Trump doesn't understand this. Research shows H1B professionals expand job opportunities for Americans by boosting efficiency and creating roles in systems analysis, programming, and so many other things. For example, data network. This has sustained US leadership in AI, biotech, and cybersecurity. Number 4, economic contributions are immense. H1B holders and families inject $86 billion annually into the American economy, including $24 billion directly in federal taxes, while owning 300,000 homes and nearly 1 million vehicles, spurring local growth. Number 5, it drives long-term income growth. Expanding H1B visas could raise national personal income by 146 billion by 2045. Look, scaling down the H1B visa program would spell death for American superpower trajectory. Conversely, 30 seconds. This would be a boon for India, as I said, the largest H1B recipient. Scaling down H1B would redirect talent home, boosting India's tech sector. While short-term remittances drop might sting, of course, long-term benefits include accelerated innovation, startup ecosystems, economic ties strained by US policies. India could actually emerge as a new superpower hub, capitalizing on returned expertise to challenge US dominance. In a sense, the H1B visa wasn't just a policy, Anand. It was the lifeblood of American greatness. Scaling it down or tweaking it has invited decline, while it will empower emerging powers like India. Question is, as I said, is India ready? H1B ready?
Ambassador, are we ready? Well, one of the things is we are not willing to pay the kind of salaries that the American companies are ready to pay. The other thing is the attraction of talent happens only when there is a freedom to create, generate, and there is also a focus on R&D. Now, are we as a country ready to, do that? Or are we ready to learn German, Spanish, Swahili, and then start going to those countries?
I believe that given the population figures in India, we have enough for our own needs and more than enough to spare. We have always driven innovation across the world, sir. And let me just also tell you this about India, that whenever things have happened, as far as we are concerned, if we have moved ahead alone, we've changed the world anyway. Indian talent in 150, 160 countries, they're at top levels, etc. What happens is that if Mr. Trump decides that he doesn't want the best talent, the best minds in the world, which are Indian minds, it's going to hurt him very badly, as the other Anand just said a moment ago. It's going to be a very difficult time for them. This transition will be very difficult. How is he going to replace them? As it is, they would have known during the... So this is, it's a different example. But I saw this, I was in the United States when the virus attacked, and then all the supply chains were affected. And we went to buy a refrigerator and they said we'll come back in 6 months, but certain critical components haven't come. The same thing is going to happen at the intellectual level. If you're not able to produce, America's leadership, global leadership, innovation, that is going to be badly affected, not tomorrow, but in a few weeks, in a few months, in a few years. America's decline will accelerate intellectually, sir, unless Shri Donald Trump decides he has to revise this very, very poorly thought out policy. That is my conviction. As far as we are concerned, we have enough for our needs given our numbers, given the level of education, given the fact that we have, America's population is 340 million, we have 340 million students. If we're not able to absorb them in India, we are ready to power the intellectual development of the universe.
That we can, but why is it that the Indian American diaspora there is quiet, Ambassador Saab? They are one of the most active contributors to the US GDP. Or are they working in the shadows, silently, behind the scenes?
I believe that some of them would like to ingratiate themselves with the present regime, so will not talk very much. But there are others who are working behind the scenes. 300 billion is what I think they pay in taxes every year, whatever. Again, booting them out is not going to serve anybody's purpose. They'll come back to India, they'll be unhappy, whatever. Ultimately, they are looking for the salaries that we can't afford to pay, sir. My per capita is what, $3,000 a year? United States maybe $20,000 a year. So let's look at it, let's be realistic. And that's also one other issue that I'd like to say, sir, what Trump is trying to do with India. That for us, our partnership with the United States is our most consequential relationship. For the United States, their relationship with India is not the most consequential. So as it is, we are on a weaker wicket when we are we may say that we'll stand up to them, we won't bend, but we understand the realities. I as a diplomat understand the reality of the situation. Nevertheless, I do believe that India's intellectual capability will speak for itself. If they don't go to America, they'll go to Europe. Many countries, Finland and Germany and so on, are willing to accept them, welcoming them. And I think America will realize that its loss has been the gain of the other developed nations.
Does Duolingo teach Spanish and German and Finnish, Aditya? Because, if it's not English, then it's these languages. That's what everybody is looking at. But the thing is, we are looking at alternatives again, beyond America, but in that area. But will Canada want to move in? Will Mexico want to attract talent? And will, this nearshoring possibility, is that another big opportunity in that region?
I have a different take, Anandji. I think it's either US or India. All these other countries you mentioned are irrelevant today. India is the fastest major growing economy in the world at 7.8%. We have the third largest startup ecosystem in the world after the United States and China. So people, especially, if we are just talking about STEM talent, then the next best option is India. So I don't think it's these other countries. Secondly, the level of pay or salary levels in India today for the STEM talent is very high. And especially when we factor in the PPP, the purchasing power parity, then the standard of living that one could enjoy in India would be even higher than the United States. I've spent a lot of time in the US. The kind of life you would lead here would be of a higher standard of living. So according to me, it's either US or India. And, just a small point, I love when the status quo has been challenged. So even if now, things are rolled back in the United States, I think the damage has been done. You've scared people off. You've also shown that there is no policy consistency at all. It's changing by the matter of an hour, not even days. So the damage has been done, according to me. And I love when status quos are disturbed because, then opportunities arise. I always say that it's like Sagar Manthan, right? The wish will also come out, Amrit will come out. But this time it's clear to me that Bharat will be drinking the Amrit.
Well, who's going to be holding the poison for the Americans? We'll have to wait and watch.